Hi guys, Sidewinder here. Today we are talking about a special topic in my heart because I want to go over some basics of arm wrestling. So, is the low hand actually a lat drag? Does it depend on your lat's ability to generate power? So, I want you to pay close attention because this will be a hopefully recurrent topic for the next videos. How does the kinetic chain work in arm wrestling? As opposed to sports like powerlifting, for example, where your movements come from the bigger muscles. Think about, for example, bench press. You have your chest and your shoulders and your triceps, and the smaller muscles like the grip and the wrist don't matter quite as much. Now let's go back to arm wrestling. The kinetic chain goes in reverse order. So you have your finger containment, and then your wrist, and then the force gets transferred to your biceps or elbow flexors because brachioradialis and brachialis and the pronators are most important in arm wrestling. So the term biceps is mostly used as a common denominator for elbow flexion ability, even if biceps is not the most important muscle in arm wrestling. And then at the end, you have your lats, your chest, your bigger muscles. So what this means is that even if your bigger muscles are strong enough to, let's say, support 80 kilograms of force, 100 kilograms of force, you are limited by what you can do with your hand and your elbow flexors. Okay? In this way, we could say that as long as your hand and elbow flexors are able to generate, let's say, 50 kilograms of power, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, having 50 to 51 kilograms of big muscle power is pretty much enough so that you can arm wrestle properly. Now, going back to our main subject, is the low hand top roll a lat drag in any sense? Well, let's start off with the no strap example. Okay, so you're outside of the straps and your wrist is dropped. You can generate 55 kilograms of lat drag. But what happens if your hand in a drop position cannot handle the 55 kilograms of pressure? Your wrist goes, and then you cannot generate any kind of force through your lats because you have compromised your wrist. Now, moving on to the strap example. You're in the straps, your wrist feels secured, you have extra power in the hand. What happens then? Well, the next part of the kinetic chain is a combination. I cannot say exactly in what percentages. It's a combination between your back pressure, your elbow flexion, and because we're talking about the straps, some degree of rotational power, because in the straps you can apply pronation differently by pulling on the straps using the straps to create leverage on your opponent's wrist. So, again, even in the straps, this is not a case where the power can get lost through your lats ability. It's still an issue regarding elbow flexion ability and pronation ability. So it's still higher, okay? Higher from hand to elbow flexion on the kinetic chain. So I hope I hope that you can easily see why pulling in a low hand motion or a drag motion, as some people like to call it, is not exactly a matter of lat dragging ability, but it is still a matter of hand power, elbow flexion power, and pronation power. You can pull 100 kilograms, one arm, on a row. But if your hand and your elbow flexion can only hold 40 kilograms of pressure, then I can guarantee you that your lat drag will only be able to generate 40 kilograms of force in an arm wrestling match. So, ponder on it, think about it. It may help with your training philosophy. You may find out that focusing so much on the lats is not all that it's meant to be. And maybe this can even make your training easier by focusing on the smaller muscles that are more important to arm wrestling than other muscles. Thank you for staying with me, and like, subscribe, share, comment, yada yada yada. Thank you so much, and I'll see you later.